What's goody team? What's goody team? What's goody team? Welcome to today's live trading session. Right, today is FOMC, the 17th of September. Give me 1 second while I figure out why there's so many links posted on. Alright, so as you guys know, again, FOMC days, I really don't trade them. Right, we went over every single pair last night. You know, what we could be expecting, what could happen. So what I'm gonna do for today's stream is just show you guys how I approach the FOMC day. Once again, at this point, I'm not really looking to take any trades. If for any reason I end up seeing an entry, right, I'll take it. Now, what would be my approach to taking that trade? I have to make sure that I'm out of the trade by 2 p.m. Right? Once again, we have FOMC. Let's pull it up. Right? We have FOMC at 2 p.m. From 2 to 2:30, we have FOMC. With that being said, by 1:30, 1:45, I am out of the trade. If I decide to take a trade now during the beginning of NYC session, right? If 2:45 hits, let's say 1:45 hits, right? And STP hasn't been done yet, ADR hasn't been done yet, I'm getting out of the trade. If I take the trade now and before 2 p.m. STP gets hit, I'm out at STP. I'm not holding my trade. I'm not holding my position for FOMC to be hit and then it goes straight into stop loss. I'm not doing that. Usually on FOMC days, on NFP days, on any high impact news day where we know we're going to get a lot of volume, I'm not really trading. I'm letting price do what it has to do. Right? So that's the number one thing I wanted to say. Now the second thing is, how would I approach going into these trades? Right? And it's really nothing different. Right? First thing is first is calculating the STP, right, with the ADR. That's the number one thing. Seeing which pairs have already made their move for the day and which ones are left. Right, so starting off with AU, 47 pips is ADR. STP minus 33% is 31 pips. Right, so we grab this. 31 pips is STP. Right, from the top to the bottom or from the bottom to the top, we've already done 23 pips. Right, out of the 31. So AU is still has a little bit left to go before STP's hit. AUD CAD, we're just moving sideways. Right, this is going to be a pair that, again, I am not going to be trading, especially during FOMC, guys. If price is just consolidating, there's no trend, what is price going to do? Right, if there's no trend, what is price going to do? For EA, it gave us a change of character and it gave us an inducement. It has not given us the break of structure just yet. Price here is just moving sideways. Right, so again, what I would have loved to have seen for EA, I would have loved to have seen a valid break of these highs to give us that valid break of structure retest to then continue to look for those buy positions back to the top side. So right now, I could already tell you EA is not going to be a trade I'm going to be looking at. For ECAD, gave us the break. After it gave us the break, it's giving us the retest. Right, it's giving us a little pullback. So, once again, this is where not every single, let's take a step back, right? This is where understanding every single strategy in the playbook comes in handy, right? Because if you're a trader trading fib retracements and let's say that you're a trader trading patterns, right? You're possibly thinking that this is going to be a flag post pattern, a bullish flag post pattern between 23.6 and 38.2, right? And right now we're at the 23.6. So how many traders do you think are already into this trade? It's going to be a lot of traders already in this position, right? Second thing I want to keep an eye on is, once again, yes, even though EuroCAD gave us a break, we're still in peak high territory. We're in the highest point in the market so far, right? We're in the highest point in the market. We broke our previous peak highs. At this point for ECAD, I'm not really looking to take any trades in this area. Peak high territory, peak low territory, I'm not looking to take a trade. EU is another situation very similar to GU, right? We made new highs in level 2 on an uptrend. We're trading at a higher high, but once again, on the daily time frame, we don't have a valid break. On the 4-hour time frame, we don't have a valid break. If price would have given us a valid break on the daily or a valid break on the 4-hour, then I would have felt a lot more comfortable talking about, oh yeah, EU, we're going to have a simple retest somewhere in this area, and we're just going to continue that push to the top side, right? On top of the fact that we didn't get a daily break, and on top of the fact that we didn't get a 4-hour break, it was just testing candles, right? We also have 2 days of rise, where today we are expecting price to give us that third day push to the top side. However, we could already see that as soon as the market opened, it gave us that third day push already. So just keep that in mind. We didn't get a daily break, we didn't get a 4-hour break, and price already gave us technically the move for the day that we were looking for as soon as the market opened, right? So for EU, this is another pair I'm not going to be trading it. If price would have given us a valid break on the daily and the 4-hour time frame, and if price would have given us a valid pullback without giving us this daily high break, then I would have felt a lot more comfortable and a lot more confident in taking these trades and understanding that, yeah, FOMC is just going to follow the trend. Understanding that currently we do not have a a valid trend, because price never gave us that valid break on the daily or the 4-hour. That's the reason why I'm not keeping an eye on these pairs, right? I'll let FOMC do what it has to do. Once FOMC is hit, then I'll start looking to take trades, right? At this point, we know we'll be back tomorrow, we'll be back on Friday, we'll be back next week. Whatever the case is, if we have to be patient, it is what it is. It's part of the game, right? GA, we're in peak high territory. We're in the highest point in the market. I'm not trading it. Once again, what I was looking for on GA was for price to give me a valid break of these highs. So I'm not going to be trading it until we get those valid breaks. For GCAD, we're at the top of the daily highs. We're at the top of the 4-hour highs. We are in level 3 on an uptrend, which we understand that. Now again, we know we wanted to see price give us a valid break of these highs. Now, alright, cool. Could we look for entries before the valid breaks? Absolutely. But what we wanted to see here on GCAD was an inducement of these lows to then go high, or we were going to see price give us a break of these lows, which is just, again, a lower time frame shoulder head shoulder, right? So right now, where are we? We're in the middle of this shoulder head shoulder. This is where the market makers are going to be trapping traders, and we see that every single time price is in the middle. Just think about it. If you put a line from the middle of the shoulder head shoulder, right? What do you have here? A crazy exhaustion candle. What do you have here? Another crazy exhaustion candles, right? What do you have here? Crazy exhaustion candles. Right here, we have nothing too crazy, nothing too crazy, nothing too crazy until here. Another crazy fucking candle. Right? We could say the same thing with these right here. Right? Same thing with today. From what time is this? From 1 in the morning to now, till present time. Look at all these candles that are being printed. Right? It's big enough candles to where if you don't have a 40-50 pip stop loss, your stop loss is going to be hit. And this is all in the middle of the zone. So right now, the fact that we don't have a break, the fact that we don't have the inducement, the fact that price is still in the middle of the zone of consolidation, I'm almost 100% sure that if we stay in this area until the news hits at 2 p.m., we're gonna see some crazy movements happening on GCAD, right? So GCAD for me is gonna be a pair today. I'm just gonna keep an eye on it. Once again, we have news, not gonna mess with it. GJ, we understand GJ overall is in an uptrend. However, we're still in areas where price is still rejecting highs. We still haven't gotten a clean break of these highs, which we were looking for on the 4-hour time frame. Right? When you go to the 4-hour time frame, you see that we were looking for clean breaks of these highs over here, and price never gave it to us. Right? This candle never closed above, this candle never closed above, this candle closed above, but it's touching the BOS line, still testing. Right, red candle's testing, this green candle's testing, this green candle's testing, this red candle is just a red candle. This green candle closed below, right, wick above, but it's still testing. This green candle closed above, but it's still touching the BOS line, is still testing. And then we had a red engulfing candle, bearish candle going right back down to the bottom. Right, so again, GJ would be such a simple trade to look at if we would have gotten that clean break of these highs. And the fact that we're still in the area where price has been rejecting traders and inducing traders into getting a trade, the fact that we're still in this area and we've been in this area for the last month and a half, again, I'm not really interested in taking a trade here. I'm not interested in taking a trade here. When we're looking at 30-minute structure and what we're trading and how we're trading, we're still making lower low, lower high, lower low. Then price gave us a change of character back to the top side. Right, a change of character, that's it. If price would have given us a change of character and then a break of structure right after, then I would have felt a lot more confident and a lot more comfortable taking this trade back to the top side. Right, so just understanding that we're in a point where we're at a point of interest with GJ where the market makers are trapping traders. Right, we still don't have a valid break, we still don't have a valid trend. Why would I put myself in a situation to get into a trade with no valid trends, with no valid break of structures? Right? It just doesn't make any sense. It's high risk, low probability for no reason. If we were to be following our rules, if price wouldn't have been in the zone of consolidation, different story. Right? Completely different story. But the fact that we're in a zone of consolidation, we have no valid breaks. What are we trading? Right, we're just trading what we want to see compared to trading what we end up actually seeing. Right, and what I really am seeing on GJ, we're just in a zone of consolidation. There's nothing to trade. I'm not gonna take that aggressive trade, especially right before the news. It doesn't make any sense. Right, EU very similar to GU. The only biggest difference is that we haven't reached the daily highs just yet. We did get, right, we were looking for a valid break of these highs, which we ended up getting on the 4-hour time frame, which is perfect. Right, this week looks like price wants to finish on a second week push to the top side, which is again perfect, doing exactly what it needs to do. On the 30-minute, we had the change of character, we had the break of structure, got the retest. We have 2 days of rise, looking for the 3rd day push to be given today. Now, could EU be that picture perfect trade that we're looking for? It could be. Could be. Right, EU right now still looks pretty good. So let's look at this at the 5-minute. On the 5-minute time frame, we're still making higher high, higher low, higher high. So after that's been printed, we've just been moving sideways, right? Since pretty much last night at 11 p.m. till today, or no, this isn't 11 p.m. This is 11 a.m. Right, from 11 a.m. all the way to right now, so for the last almost 10 hours, we've just been moving sideways. So once again, what are we going to be trading here? Right, what are we going to be trading here? Price is printing exhaustion candles to the highs, exhaustion candles to the lows, exhaustion candles to the highs in a zone of consolidation where price is just rejecting lows and rejecting highs. What are we going to be trading here? So gonna be very careful and very patient with GU. NZD USD, I'm not trading it. Waiting for price to turn around. Once we start making lower lows and lower highs, I'll start trading it. Right now we're in the middle of the zone of consolidation on the 4-hour time frame. On the daily time frame, we're at the bottom of the zone of consolidation. I'm not going to be trading it. US 30, we're in peak high territory. We're in the highest point in the market thus far. Not going to be trading US 30. We have gaps at the top of the market that price printed at the beginning of the week. We still have those gaps at the bottom. Once we start seeing a trend, I'll start trading, but we can see how pretty much the entire week since Monday, price has just been moving sideways. There's really no trend. Once again, if you look at the candles that have been printed, just crazy candles, crazy wicks, just stopping traders out every single time they get into a trade, right? Just crazy exhaustion candles. It just doesn't make any sense. Price just moving sideways. I'm okay with that. USD CAD, I'm not trading it. USD ZAR, I'm not trading it. Right? USD ZAR is just in a zone of consolidation. We'll wait for price to get out of there. Um, Gold pretty much already hit STP for the day as well, and we're trading in peak high territory. We're in the highest point in the market. Bitcoin, we're also in peak high territory, very similar to what US 30 is doing as well. I'm not trading Bitcoin. And then oil, my lovely oil. Right, we have 3 days of rise. After 3 days of rise, the market must move sideways or go down. This is still a pair that's looking good. We're keeping an eye on oil. I'm not actively trading oil just yet, but once we get our confirmations that we're looking for, I'll definitely be on it. So that's pretty much it. I would honestly say, guys, the only two pairs to keep an eye on before FOMC would be AU and GU. Again, AU just for the fact that STP hasn't been done yet, but we're still moving counter trend. We're still making higher highs and higher lows. So we want to be careful trading AU. GU, however, would be that one to keep an eye on. But outside of those pairs, that's pretty much it, guys. Again, I just wanted to turn this stream on so you guys could see how it is that I approach looking at the charts, especially during the FOMC days or any high impact news day, right? The way you approach the chart is really what's going to allow you to either be successful at this in the long run, or it's going to be very difficult to keep it consistent. What's good, Albert? Good morning, my brother. How are you? How are you? So yeah, that was pretty much it. Again, I really didn't want to turn the stream on today because there's nothing to trade. It's just kind of boring to turn the stream on for no reason. I also got to pick up E at the airport in about 2 hours. So once again, personally for me, I don't trade news. I don't trade high impact news. I don't trade FOMC days. I don't trade non-farm. I don't trade none of that. So for me, I'll be out of the play for today. I'm not gonna, again, I'm not forcing myself to take any trades that aren't there. If at the end of the day there was something that was clean and it was simple to take, then we'll talk about it. If not, then it is what it is, right? Today's one of those days where as a trader, you have to make a decision. You have to make a business decision, right? Are you willing to risk X amount, right? Willing to invest X amount to make X amount, or are you just willing to sit out and wait for a picture perfect trade to play out? And again, for me, I'm not in no rush, right? If I decide not to take a trade this week, it's okay. It's not that big of a deal. We'll come back again next week. We'll come back again the next day and the next day and the next day. It's part of the game, right? It is part of the game. Yeah, I'm doing good, Albert. I can't complain. I thought Eric came and went back. Yeah, he got here last week. He stayed for like a day. He went back to Miami to be with his daughter. Um, and now he's coming back today. And he leaves on the 24th, I believe. He's going back to DR, but we don't know when. I don't know if he's going back to New York for another couple days or a few weeks and then going to DR, or if on the 24th he's going straight to DR. We don't know yet. He's still trying to figure it out, what the plan is. Yeah, he's supposed to be here today. Hopefully today, um, we'll be recording the courses for the new website and everything else. So hopefully we'll be finished with that. I don't think it should take us more than a day or two. So we'll be done with that by today, tomorrow. Will he be getting back to the charts? I don't know. All I know is that we're definitely gonna get back on the. We're recording the courses today. We'll have that done. When it comes to him being on the charts, maybe he, maybe he'll do a session, but maybe not. I don't know. Again, I can't really. I don't know. I'll let him kind of figure that out. Maybe he'll do a session here, for you guys, and then he'll be back on. I don't know. I know for sure we're gonna be doing the courses. We're gonna record the courses and have that ready for the website. I know that for a fact. But him getting back on the charts and doing the classes, I don't know. I'll let him kind of answer that question later today or this week. But yeah, guys, any questions? Any other pairs you guys want me to go over? Anything you guys want me to talk about? Any other pairs you guys want me to do a breakdown on before the news hits? Let me know. Once again, for me, I'm not looking to take really any trades. We're just playing it by ear, right? We're just going to be super patient. We got news for a lot of these pairs, or not news, but what was this? Pullbacks. We have a lot of pullbacks that need to be given for a lot of pairs. Trading at the higher highs, looking for a higher low. Trading at a lower low, looking for a lower high. We're trading in peak formation highs or peak formation lows. Some other pairs are trading in zones of consolidation, just moving sideways, rejecting highs and rejecting lows. So again, it's just about being patient. And as you guys could see, price for platinum did exactly what we had talked about. Right, again, without a valid break, we're not going to see price continue to push to the top side. We're just going to keep on rejecting highs and going back low. So any questions, guys? That's pretty much it for today. Ugh. That's pretty much it for today, guys, and then we'll be back again tonight for the isolation session. But for today's trading session, once again, we have news at 2, so pretty much done for now. And we'll be back again tonight. We'll give you guys another 2 minutes. 7:55, we'll be out of here. Any questions at all? Any other pairs you guys want me to go over, let me know. Anything in specific that you guys want me to talk about or break down, let me know. If not, then that's it, guys, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Stay safe if you decide to trade FOMC. If you don't decide to trade today, then at least keep an eye on the charts. Again, that's always something that I say. Even on days where I'm not taking trades, I'm still looking at the charts. Right? Because if there's something that I missed, or there's something that, hey, I should be able to do this, or I want to learn how to do this, I keep an eye on the charts, right? I do my markups. I see what could have been caught, what looked good and the reasons why. So, again, even if you decide not to take a trade today, make sure you continue to look at your charts. Be patient, but continue to look at the charts. No questions at the moment. All right, Albert, no problem, my brother. Have a good day. Likewise, likewise. We'll see you later tonight. Alright, guys, since there's no questions in the chat, hope you guys have a good rest of your day. We'll be back tonight for the isolation session at 7 p.m. Peace out.